Aishwarya, yes, it's important to send that message out, but it's becoming tough with the local leaders speaking out of turn. In fact, Congress leaders I've been speaking to are saying that this all started with MLA B.R. Patil, who was considered Siddaramaiah's confidant, speaking out first, and then there was Rajanna, Minister for Cooperation, also a Siddaramaiah confidant, speaking out, and then, of course, the MLAs loyal to DK Shivakumar speaking out. The numbers, of course, some would argue, has been firmly in favor of Siddaramaiah. Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist who's followed this as well, joins us. Shekhar, thanks very much for speaking to us. At the risk of sounding boring, because this question has been asked for the last 2 years, do you believe that there is going to be a transfer of power in Karnataka, or would you believe that the status quo is the only way the Congress can remain rock solid in that state?
Well, I think, the problems of the MLAs are not just about who is the CM. In fact, in the last 2 days, Surjewala's interactions with MLAs have brought out a number of issues that these MLAs have been complaining for a while. One is lack of funds for their constituency development. MLA after MLA who interacted with Surjewala made it very clear, because of, those guarantee schemes or freebies or whatever you call them, there has been an outflow of as much as 60% of the funds have been going for that. So there is very little left for these MLAs to recommend, changes, development. This is becoming a big issue for these MLAs, because this is the way they connect to the electorate. They cannot recommend developmental projects. That is one major issue. And also the lack of response from ministers. You see, a lot of MLAs have complaints against the present lot of ministers. So, as to whether this is all going to lead to a leadership, which is a bigger question. But immediately I can see some kind of a reshuffle in the government, change of portfolios of ministers. And there is a constant complaint about lack of performance by some ministers, whether they belong to DK's group or Siddaramaiah's group.
That's right, Shekhar. You're pointing out two very important issues. There are administrative issues, that's on the one side. There is also, remember, the question of a change in the KPCC president's post, because those like Satish Jarkioli have fired the salvo that 2 posts for DK Shivakumar needs to be revisited. So, multiple permutations and combinations. Do you expect some kind of concrete sort of measures being taken in the next couple of days, at least a cracking of the whip on the MLAs? Or do you believe that the Congress High Command will just let it play out this way, that at least you express your frustration to the party, or publicly will carry the boat, will let the boat sail the way it's going for the moment?
The way I see it, immediately they will try to address the discomfort or the displeasure among the MLAs first, by way of adjusting them in the government, or getting to see that the ministers respond better to them at one level. The other level is, you see, there is a feeling even at the high command level that DK Shivakumar has been contributing a lot for the party. He played a big role in the last elections also, and has been helping the party in other states. So therefore, that it is a time that a call has to be taken. But the High Command also knows that if you were to disturb the arrangement with Siddaramaiah, that could lead to a situation where supporters of Siddaramaiah, who are larger in number compared to DK Shivakumar in terms of MLAs, because that was the reason why Siddaramaiah was chosen even in 2 years ago, that could lead to a situation which the Congress High Command would avoid.
Absolutely, and I think there is also the permutation and combination in terms of caste equations, the Ahinda bloc versus having an OBC Vokkaliga face as the chief ministerial candidate there in, or the chief minister there in Karnataka. That would be a delicate balance for the Congress party to strike. Let's see if there is a dark horse compromise candidate as well in that at the end of the day. But thanks very much, Shekhar. We'll keep a close watch. But for the moment, categorical message from the Congress High Command is that there's absolute unity. Speculation is a figment of journalists' imagination at the moment. Whatever changes have to happen, if they have to happen, will be taken by the High Command in a few months. For the moment, everything's rock solid and firm in Karnataka. That's the message from the Congress High Command.